Hi everyone, it's Roger and Abe here from DisKingdom.com with another episode of the DisKingdom podcast. In this episode, we are going to be discussing the new X-Men Apocalypse trailer, which just got released by 20th Century Fox. So, Abe, did you get to see a chance to see this one?
Yes, I love it. The trailer. I mean, look, out of all the franchises or basically stories that are not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, X-Men I seem to still enjoy. This trailer is awesome. I love the fact that you're starting to see like how huge Apocalypse is and how much they're going to have to battle against them. You see Mystique kind of joining sides, and you see Professor Xavier like finally all bald, and he's like, "Wow, this is the power I've never felt before." But
and I know that great. Power. I mean, it does bring a special power when you become bold. You just get more.
Is that what it is? I need to go shave my head now. No, but I was gonna say, I love how it looks. I love, you feel the intensity. Only issues I do have with it are, I still think Apocalypse is tiny. They probably needed a bulkier actor, or at least use a little bit more CGI. And I don't know why, but Mystique in human form telling these guys, she's fighting for, good and whatnot, kind of makes me think like I'm watching the Hunger Games for some reason. But
they don't seem to kind of keep in the blue skin. It's like, that's what Mystique is. Why is she hiding? I mean, I know it's the 80s and she's trying to hide her powers and stuff, but it's like I know it's because it's cheaper and everyone will recognize it's Jennifer Lawrence and she's doing the stuff.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's why, because Jennifer Lawrence has won an Academy Award. She's been nominated for a couple others. Just so you guys know, the SAG Awards nominations just came out, and she was not nominated for Joy. So I think the J-Law era is ending. So please put Mystique on the screen. We don't need to see Jennifer Lawrence. We're okay with Mystique. That's what we want to see. But anyways, the trailer is awesome. It's action-packed. I definitely approve. I don't feel like it gave me the entire story like Batman vs. Superman did.
That was
great.
That was I mean, it's such a cool trailer, but yeah, compared to, it's like, I don't think I need to go see Batman vs. Superman. I've already seen it.
I already saw it, yeah. In fact, I'm going to see it after this again. Just hit the trailer button.
So what did get me was I thought the bit with Apocalypse where he's like clamping down on his hand onto Charles Xavier kind of felt a little bit like the BFG advert trailer as well when he's reaching through with his big hand.
I know. I was like, wait a second, is this cross promotion? Is Disney finally working with Fox? And because oh my god, this is
the BFG is a mutant.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's definitely a great trailer. Definitely anticipating this because. Am I correct when I'm saying that this will be the last Hugh Jackman X-Men movie as well?
Well, it's kind of being buzzed around that he is sort of quitting being it. I don't know necessarily if this is his last one because he's filming the one in Japan. I think they're doing the Old Man Logan kind of. He's out in Japan doing that one, so he might make a cameo in this. Maybe the best way of killing him off would be to have Apocalypse destroy him in the first couple of minutes, but I can't see that happening if they've got that extra movie. It feels a bit like at the minute they're having to reboot the X-Men series because obviously they rebooted it with the time travel and the rest of it. But we've got a new Storm, we've got a new Jean Grey. It's a bit of a mess in terms of the actors are flipping around all over the place.
I think this was honestly a great. The best case scenario that they did it this way, that they're kind of like, oh, by the way, X3 and one of the Wolverines didn't happen. And I'm glad because those two were garbage. They sucked. But anyways, so it's kind of cool. But let's be honest. Let's talk about like on the business side of movies. They're only doing this to maintain the rights of the X-Men. They're only doing this. They're shelling out more movies. And not to mention the reboots have been popular, so it kind of makes sense. So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, aside from that, movie looks great. We were already anticipating it to be great, and I can't wait to see the Hunger Games BFG Apocalypse movie. It's gonna be awesome.
I think it's kind of one of those things. I think it's like, obviously with 20th Century Fox having the rights to some of these Marvel characters, because obviously we've got Deadpool. Next year is a action-packed year for movies. We're going to kick off with Deadpool in February. We've also got Captain America. We've then got Batman versus Superman. We've also got X-Men. We've got Suicide Squad. And then we're going to have Doctor Strange. It's quite a lot of movies because with Fox putting out 2, DC putting out 2, and Marvel putting out 2, yeah, it's going to be a lot. I'm kind of glad in some ways that it looks like sort of Doctor Strange is going to be way at the back of that, because I think it might be a good idea for that one to be a few months away from everybody else to kind of because I think the summer could be a little bit of superhero overload. And I do wonder, specifically if, like what we saw with the Fantastic Four, is the X-Men movie going to be that kind of tipping point of too many? That's the one thing I'm wondering about. It looks like they're doing a very good job. It looks much more interesting than the last 2 sort of old-fashioned X-Men movies. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I don't know, Roger. I think you and I have been doing this show almost 2 years, and I think you've been saying it's superhero overload since we started. So
yeah,
we're still going strong, buddy.
We've got more TV shows being launched every week.
and not to mention, yeah, exactly. We have Jessica Jones now. Agent Carter season 2 is coming out. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still going on, and I'm not even talking about DC side. But we got to keep in mind that we also have a huge, if we are overloaded on superheroes, if that is the case, don't worry. We have Jedis and Sith Lords starting. It's going to be awesome. So don't worry, guys. We got something for everybody.
Yeah, we're set for a while. I mean, I think it's this X-Men one. I think it's that kind of thing. It has got, what we wanted. Is this the 8th or 9th movie now? I'm trying to think. We got the 3 original ones, the 2
original ones, 2 Wolverine ones, then the First Class, and then the Days Before Future Past. So that's 5, 7. This is going to be the 8th movie.
Yeah, and then but Deadpool, does that count as an X-Men movie?
I would. Well, it depends if there's going to be a lot of because
Colossus isn't it?
Huh?
Colossus. Is going to be, and there's a few other mutants in Deadpool.
If I don't know, if the X-Men are in there, then it counts. Otherwise, no. But then again, how can you count the Wolverine movies if technically not all the X-Men are in it? But just I don't know. It's part of the non-Marvel Cinematic Universe owned by Fox, X-Men related. So I guess we'll count it as the 9th. I mean, as long as it's not Fantastic Four or it's has nothing to do with the older movies, but yeah.
I think as well with the X-Men, I think they've been around long enough now that they're able to jump into some of these other kind of villains and trying to do some different kind of things. The idea that we're going to get, Apocalypse, and he's going to be using control 4 mutants like a young Storm and Magneto. It does feel slightly cool that they've got a new villain to take out. And I mean, he's been a huge part of the comic book, but they've never really brought him into the movies and stuff. So it's kind of, I'm loving the fact now that we're getting past all these silly little origin movies and stuff. We're getting into some nuts and bolts of doing some big movies other than Batman versus Superman, which is like, let's throw as many characters as we possibly can into a free.
I'm just wondering if Apocalypse can control 4 mutants locally or if it can be wirelessly throughout the world. So I don't know if it's something to do with this technology, but we'll see.
He's just
how
been waiting for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And hopefully he doesn't have any DLC to download. So anyway.
But it's just looking a really good movie. I'm just loving the idea of having a different take on it, because as much as I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, having a different sort of universe going on at the same time is kind of quite interesting, and I like the fact that they're doing something different with it. The whole time travel thing and the intermingling of them after future days pass, it's like, well, once you get into time travel, it's complicated, but it's almost just like time travel gets used by filmmakers to kind of complicate it because things are actually that complicated, and they're trying to kind of muddle the waters. So everyone goes, that shouldn't be happening, but that person's changed. And
well, all I gotta say is that I think that Days of Future Past is the first movie since Back to the Future to use time travel effectively, because they definitely cleaned up a big mess. So a lot of other time travel movies have been okay, but this is interesting. So we'll see what they do with Apocalypse and all the younger characters. I mean, like, younger Storm looks interesting, younger Cyclops looks interesting. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'd love to know your thoughts on the Apocalypse trailer. Comment below. Let us get in touch with us. And be sure to check out us on Twitter and Facebook. And also, big shout out to our Patreon, Ethan at swordapps.com and Magic Band Collectors. A big thank you for all of his support, and also to all our other patrons as well for all of your support. Remember to subscribe, like, and we shall see you guys in the later episode.
Later, guys.
Laters.